Yeah, maybe I'll stay in bed a little longer. It's nice and warm, comfy under the covers. I'll just take another little snooze. Or maybe it goes like this. Yeah, it is going to be a long flight. Maybe I'll upgrade and get those big comfortable seats and let me get through. Stop being so comfortable.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of License to Live. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I'm your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Just go to your favorite podcast player and hit subscribe. Well, today we're going to be talking about being comfortable and, more importantly, being uncomfortable. All right, well, for your self-care, for the way that you're feeling, there's a lot of reasons why you should strive for comfort. You do need that to recharge your batteries and get yourself ready for your day. But more importantly, comfort needs to be a part of our everyday life, but it should strive to have some discomfort in your life as well. And I'll explain that. Well, we don't have to go back to sitting on hardwood and benches or anything like that, but I'll explain what I'm talking about right after we finish thanking our sponsors. Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, License to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. License to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
Something smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
It is that holiday season. You may want to get a couple extra bags of that EH3 coffee to spread the cheer for the holidays. Make sure you use the discount code Dr. Jarrett to get your discount.
This is Super Bowl champion Mike Logan, and you are listening to License to Live.
EH3 makes me comfortable, but let me tell you of an experience that I had recently that really made me think about being comfortable. Now, I'm traveling all over the place quite often. And on one of my recent travels, I traveled out there and I tried to keep myself comfortable. But there were some things about this particular trip that made me a little bit uncomfortable. And one was just kind of going out on some hikes, looking at some natural trails, and lots of cliffs and waterfalls, which are really cool to be seeing in this landscape. But on these trails that I was hiking, and, I like to hike for fun sometimes, and I like to take my nature walks, and these kind of things help me refresh my mind. But this particular trail was along a cliff, and it wasn't, your typical walking trail where, there may be things to hold you back to keep you from falling over that cliff. And, did I mention I don't really like heights? Yeah, I know, as tall as I am, ha ha ha, I don't really like heights. And, it's okay if I'm, tucked into a roller coaster or something like that, and I'm at an amusement park and I say, you know what, they got me strapped in pretty good, let's go for a ride. But when there's something, and I'll have to put it on my social media, you guys know where to find me on social media, at Dr. Jarrett, spell out the word doctor, J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T. And I'll put some pictures, because I could not get my feet close to the edge of that cliff to look over. I mean, I kept pushing myself to get closer and closer and closer, but I just couldn't. I felt like, well, what if I slip? What if I fall? What if this cliff breaks off? And I'm like Wile E. Coyote, dropping and holding that sign up in the air that says, yikes. Well, I didn't want to be that guy. But I had to push myself to be uncomfortable. And going along with this trip, for some reason, I decided to go ziplining. And I have gone ziplining before, but they've been kind of formal zip lines. I mean, some of you guys are familiar with that one that goes down the old Las Vegas Strip in old Las Vegas. You're looking up at the lights and a couple feet off the ground and just slowly sliding away. Now, this one was like a course of zip lines. I don't know, may have been 8 or 9 of them. And it was in a jungle, and I'm looking at the exotic birds. There were some, I even saw a parrot out there, and lots of things. And I have never done that type of zip lining. So here I am again, putting myself in a position where I'm doing something I'm extremely uncomfortable in, because now you have me zipped up to some harness, tied up to some cable, and expect me to zip 30, 50, 60 miles an hour, couple 100 feet above the forest floor. Well, it was quite a bit of difference. And as I was extremely uncomfortable, not to mention I was probably too tall for some of them, because my neck was above the cable. And I said, this is just asking for a horrible accident, and I'll be a story on the news, and they can't imagine how this happened. And everybody would be saying, what was he thinking? I don't know what I was thinking, folks. I was just in the moment. And needless to say, when I was on that first podium, all strapped up to this zip line, and this, small group of people were looking at me, including the staff, waiting for me to jump off of this platform and start zipping my freedom, in some, amazing pose, or maybe even upside down. I thought to myself, wow, I've got to take this leap some sort of way, but I am very, very afraid, and I'm very, very uncomfortable. And I took a deep breath, and I started to lean forward until, I just couldn't lean forward anymore and actually fell off the platform. Now, here I am, clutched on to these handles of this thing. I didn't even want this vest to carry any of my weight, because I didn't even check what the weight limits were on this thing. And I'm already thinking I'm in way over my head. So I'm gripping on to these little handles. My biceps are bulging, ready to bust out of my arms, because I'm not letting any of my body weight be suspended by anything else that was not under my direct control, meaning the harness, the pulley, the cable system, all of that. That was out of my control. Somebody else was doing that. So I said, if nothing else, I can grip on to this handle and suspend my own weight for these seconds as I'm traveling. And let me tell you, I didn't enjoy that first run a single bit. My biceps were burning. It was like I'm in a suspended pull-up. And I said, "There's people look like they're having fun doing this." They're out here to have fun. And I'm out here getting the worst workout of my life, thinking I'm about to tear my arms off. So I said, by the time I got to the edge of that second platform, I have to do something a little different. Well, so I let some of my weight be supported by the harness. And well, throughout that day, throughout these zip lines, high above the trees, looking down on all types of, unfamiliar trees, birds, wildlife, all of that stuff that was out there, I knew that I may not make it through the day. People were having all types of fun in their Superman poses and upside down and flipping around and hands free. And it took me several of these zips before I was even able to free one hand and try to have a little bit of fun. And in this moment, probably after maybe the fifth or sixth run, I started to get a little bit more comfortable with the situation because, well, I knew there was no way out of this jungle other than to complete this course now. I was already in too far. And it seemed like this harness was working out for me. So it wasn't getting too heavy. When I would come in for a landing, I wouldn't be knocking myself out or somebody else out. So it worked okay. And I might release some of the footage that was taken of me on this. I'm not sure yet, but I was extremely uncomfortable. But let me tell you what came out of this. That actually was a transformation of my own growth that came through this zipline procedure. And as I was going through the zipline, I became more comfortable with the heights involved, the speeds involved, the equipment that was involved. And I was actually able to sail on my last one. Oh my goodness, it must have been like a minute long or so, but I was able to go hands free for an amount of time. And I felt that was a major challenge for myself. And I pushed myself to that limit. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys. If you are always staying in your comfort zone, you are not going to grow. And through this ziplining experience, I actually grew. I gained a little bit less fear of heights, certainly less fear of ziplining, but I was also able to equate this to things going on in my life that were simply too comfortable. So with my businesses, some of them were getting comfortable, and I knew I had to shake things up because guess what happens when you're comfortable? You are not growing. You're not growing at all. And so when I was in this small town of Kaloa, ziplining above the forest floor, and I didn't know I was transforming. Now, am I going to go run right back out and go ziplining again? Well, no, not anytime soon. But I might do it again, maybe. But I know that I did experience growth in this time. And this is what I want you to understand about all of the things that you do to put comfort into your life. It is actually can work against you in some ways and make you feel a little stagnant. Because if you're comfortable, it is extremely likely that you are not growing, that you are not developing, that you are not doing anything. And I want you to consider your life and your job and where you are with comfort, because some of you guys can sleepwalk through your daily job and do it every day and be just fine and not even have to think about it. But you may not be growing. You may not be developing. And I want you to continue to push yourself and grow and step outside of that comfort zone. And we're going to talk about that right after we finish thanking our sponsor.
The time is now to refresh your career. We help doctors, lawyers, executives, and VIPs refresh and restart. Dr. Jarrett's coaching helps you build confidence, gain more credibility, develop more leadership skills, and gain clarity in your career path. Want to climb the executive ladder or branch out on your own? We'll put your career in overdrive. Visit drjarrett.com and sign up for your free strategy session.
Well, I want you to consider your comfort zone as a circle around you. It may be a small circle, it may be a big circle, but you basically are building this buffer of things that keep you comfortable. Now, it may be that you have a comfortable chair or a comfortable car to drive, or when you fly, you like to fly comfortably. And I get those things. And part of this is self-care. I mean, again, we're not going to be sitting on these, hard wooden benches and have to, sit in school all day kind of thing. But this comfort zone, I want you to think, is a circle around you. And if you stay inside of that circle, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to develop anything. And when you stretch that circle or shrink that circle, or better yet, step outside of that circle, you are going to experience new things in your life. And through those experiences, you're going to learn new things in life. And through the things that you learn, you're going to be able to apply these things back to your life to make your life better. And in fact, being uncomfortable will make your life more comfortable because you are growing. So it's actually like a continuous loop. If you think about the plan, do, check, act cycle, and you're going through that cycle, constantly evolving your process until it gets better and better and better. This is what you're doing with yourself when you have that idea of that comfort zone as a circle around you. Years and years and years I've spent as a pediatrician studying growth and development and ensuring the growth and development of the kids that I would take care of. And frankly, if there was any deviation in their growth or their development, it would be time for me to act and to interject something, whether it's a therapy or further evaluation or testing, in order to determine why a child isn't growing or developing as expected. And a lot of times we would find some things that would have simple fixes, some things would have more complex fixes, but that was my job as a pediatrician. And, similarly as a career coach, well, I ensure and spur and foster the development of my clients. And it's funny how that access as a pediatrician and studying and focusing in growth and development as one of the mainstays of pediatrics really crosses over very well into my job as a career coach, because I am ensuring that my clients are continuing to stretch themselves and push themselves out of their comfort zone in order to further advance and enrich their lives. And well, your comfort zone might get a little bit bigger. With time, I got much more comfortable speaking on stages, big and small. With time, I got more comfortable with television interviews. It doesn't mean that it's something I'm totally comfortable with, but I got a little bit more comfortable in an uncomfortable environment. And all the while I was growing, I was developing, I was getting better. I was doing things that made me into a better person. And that is how I can serve people better, and I can help people achieve their goals even more efficiently and faster than they saw it. And sometimes people have goals or goals are placed in front of them that they can't even see in front of them. So I want you to understand that growth is occurring when you step outside of that comfort zone. So anytime you get that uncomfortable or that nervous feeling or that anxious feeling, look around and see what's happening. And are you pushing yourself to do something a little bit different? Are you doing something that is making you into a better person or more effective leader or a more effective clinician? Are you doing something that stretches that circle? So with time, your comfort zone may be a small circle around you, but it starts to get a little bit bigger. And then you look at the people that you're spending time with in that circle. Are they stretching their circles? Are they pushing themselves to do something better, something bigger? Are they in a semi-state of uncomfortableness? Are they kind of teetering on the edge of, dipping their toes in the water of something outside and making that stretch? Because if those people in your circle are pushing themselves, you naturally will be pushing yourselves and you guys will bring each other up. Sometimes you need a coach or a mentor or a trusted friend to help push you along this process. And that's perfectly okay because we're not good at doing it ourselves. I mean, let's face it, I should have been able to place my toes over the edge of that cliff and had plenty of balance for me not to have worried about falling over a cliff to my untimely death. But you know what? I couldn't get that out of my mind that I might fall over this cliff and fall to my untimely death. So I could not come close to hanging my toes over any of those cliffs while I was hiking. Those first few zipline attempts, definitely I was supporting most of my body weight on this thing. I didn't get it. But it made me see afterwards the feeling, the elation, the way I accomplished something, even if it was just pushing my feet 1 inch closer to the side of the cliff. I know I can do more than that. I know I can do more than that. I spent time out of my comfort zone and I transformed. And you can have these micro transformations in your life every single day. So you know what? Take a different way to work if that's what it means. Think about something different in your life that you want to push yourself to do. It's all I'm encouraging you guys to take a step out of your comfort zone and take a step toward your next mini transformation. And of course, I'm here for you guys if you need a little bit of help. But a lot of times you can just lean on your own social circles and help encourage others to push themselves. And when you're doing this as a group, you're coming along the way. So remember, folks, that comfort zone may be big or small around you, but take some steps every day to push it a little bit more so that the circle gets larger and larger and larger. And guess what? You transform because you are capable of doing more things in an easier manner than you ever thought before. So my advice for you guys this week is to, the holidays are coming. Time to kick back and enjoy some time, be comfortable, maybe take a little vacation, but more importantly, push yourself to feel a little bit of discomfort in your life. It will go a long way to your micro transformation. And these micro transformations lead to a major transformation in your life. And when you look back, you don't even notice that it happened because it's something you have been experiencing all your way. So get out there and make some changes in your life today, folks. And remember, fire starters, if you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, be sure to invite them along this journey. Simply go to your favorite podcast player and hit subscribe. And while you're there, leave me a rating for this show and help encourage me to give you the most up-to-date information on career challenges and life changes. And I can't wait to be with you guys for the next episode. But if you want to see what I'm doing in between episodes, check me out on LinkedIn or any social media. And in fact, if you saw me on Snapchat, you probably would have known where I was because I gave a little bit of glimpse in there. But follow me on social media at Dr. Jarrett. And I will see you guys next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, No one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.